my Kansas City Chiefs are back in the Super Bowl. Sorry, I mean, I was gonna start it off normal,
Shouldn't have let you do
like
the
any
intro.
other episode, but obviously, I'm very excited for the third time in 4 years. If you know,
Try 4
Charvarius
and
Ward
5
could
though.
cover, if Charvarius Ward could cover, actually, yeah, fourth Super Bowl in 5 years.
No, let the
If
Pats are
Charvarius
fourth,
Ward,
4 and 5.
oh,
That's what I'm saying. Try 4 and 5. Try it. Anyways.
it's the fourth time we've been in the Super Bowl in 5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
And it would be 5 for 5 if Charvarius Ward could cover Jamar Chase. But
I mean,
regardless, welcome to another
that.
episode of the Takes from the Lakes podcast.
Thank you.
Call this our Super Bowl special.
Yeah.
We're very excited to talk all things Super Bowl, except at the end where we're going to talk about something random to be determined. Actually, I think I know what it is. James, You're just going to have to wait to find out.
Dude, I'm itching to figure it out, man. But decent intro. I'll rate it a 7 out of 10. We are
It's
both
better than that. It's an all-timer, top 4, not 4 all-time.
top. So it's 3. It's top 4, not
It's
4.
top 3.
Then. Is it 3? Or is it 2? Or is it 1?
It's not 3.
Okay, so it's 2. Okay. God, you're horrible.
Well, there's one that sticks out in my mind as 1.
I don't know, what is it?
I don't know. It just sticks out of my mind.
Okay, well, don't even mention it. But anyways, we're both wearing the red jerseys. I'm not wearing a Chiefs jersey. God, I would never do that. I am wearing a Niners jersey. George Kittle, go Niners. What do they say? Bang, bang, Niner gang. That's the thing they say, I think.
Hey, being part of a gang is not cool, James.
But being
It's
part
not
of the
funny.
Niner gang is cool. So we're not the same. I'm wearing George Kittle, incredible dude, incredible person and player, and you're wearing a Tyreek Hill jersey. Kind of goes to show the type of people that we are and who we like to support. Tyreek Hill's literally not even on the Chiefs anymore, and we know what type of person he is, so that's very cool, Nash. Thank you for that.
Hey,
George Kittle, everyone
for
loves
all
him.
those listening, I have a question. Did he or did he not beat the allegations?
See, if you even have to say that,
he beat half of them. He beat half of them.
Oh God! But
you're in the clear, Tyreek.
Yeah, let's defend him. But anyways, it's been a couple weeks. I think like 2 since our last episode. We're in we just finished up the spring sports episode. I'll try to get that up tonight. Probably try to get both these up tonight. Honestly, maybe tomorrow.
We do have to send the spring sports episode to Miss Wiles though too, so she can post it on the current.
Okay.
Or send it to me, or honestly, I can figure out if we can get you on like get you a login so you can just post it directly.
Okay, but I'm fine to post it tonight, right? The spring sports, like.
Actually, wait. I'll do a talk to her. I'll send her a case. Okay. Just wait like a little bit.
All right. All right.
Anyway.
Let's start with the obscure stat of the day. Nash, you go first.
Well, yeah. So first of all, I just like to point out I'm also wearing a Kansas Jayhawks picture of Allen Fieldhouse. It says, "It's okay. Everybody loses here."
Yep, stand up.
It's
there
cool.
You go. Is it long
basically,
sleeve?
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
You know me. I love my long sleeves.
Of course.
But the Jayhawks can't win on the road. So it hurts my soul. It makes me very sad. And
you will not be playing
every night.
You will not be playing at home in March, so I got bad news. You screwed. So good luck.
I'm very scared. Anyways, doesn't really matter though, because my Chiefs are in the Super Bowl yet again, and it's really nice to be a part of a franchise that's just a dynasty, you know.
They gotta win. They gotta win this to be a dynasty. If they win this, I'll say dynasty. If they don't, they're 2-2. Pats were 3-0 first 3 years. So I'm not really. Well, I'm gonna hold on that. Anyway, if they win, I'll give it to you though. I will.
Before you start yapping, let's get to obscure stat. I'm actually gonna let you go first.
Well, mine relates to Super Bowl, so it would be really cool if I tied it in.
Yeah, so does mine. Yeah, so does mine.
All right. Well, mine is.
You don't get to be special.
Okay. Do we want to talk about conference games, championship games a little bit too? Or do you want to just preview the Super Bowl?
Of course. We can.
Mine is, like I said, relating to the Super Bowl. Shout out Jay Kuda on Twitter. He tweets probably some of the funniest stuff there is on sports Twitter. He basically said, actually more he tweets a lot of random stuff, which kind of doesn't make any sense, but that's kind of his personality, I guess. But he tweeted there has never been a 7 yard touchdown, excuse me, rushing touchdown in the Super Bowl. There's never been a 7 yard rushing touchdown in the Super Bowl. There's also never been a 12 yard or a 13 yard rushing touchdown. 12 or 13 is probably a bit more,
Mm.
not as, or a bit less shocking, but there's never been a 7 yard rushing touchdown. Well, it happened for the first time in history in Super Bowl 58. Is that where we're on 58? Um, but yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. You'd think in the 58 years of there being Super Bowl, there'd be a 7 yard rushing touchdown, but there's not. So that's what I got.
Yeah, so there's a bit of confusion about whether this is the first World Championship game, AFL, NFL. I think that's
Hmm.
what it is, or whether it's the first Super Bowl. But regardless, in this game, the halftime for
Mm,
we'll call it first Super Bowl. But
the Chiefs
hard to fact
Packers
check. Halftime
Super Bowl.
featured the Tyler Junior College Apache Bells drill team.
Wow.
And this year we get Usher.
Man,
Honestly,
what a downfall. What a
yeah,
downfall it
honestly, I
was.
think it's like they're pretty comparable. Like,
Yeah, if you think
you
about it.
know, I think it peaked at Shakira.
Was that last year, two
That
years
was
ago?
my favorite. I'm
Of
just
course.
kidding.
What
Who was
actually has been your favorite halftime?
I actually don't like usually well, especially when the Chiefs are in it, like I'm always like I need the break because like the game is
Yeah,
really
it's true. I
stressful.
didn't really lock in on
Um,
Pat's halftime ever.
like
Although that's not true. I would watch it. Still
I
watch
feel
it.
like Katy Perry's was tough because she like rode a lion, but like I was pretty little. Um,
Yeah. I mean, I was, I am very much older than you, so I do remember that.
you're very old.
But yes. I mean, Bruno Mars was incredible. Coldplay was pretty sick. I forget which was, that might have been
I feel like the second
Seahawks,
Justin Timberlake one
Broncos.
was pretty good. Obviously not the first one. We won't get
Yeah,
into
with
that.
Janet Jackson. But yeah, Justin
Oh,
Timberlake, and that's where
Janet.
the wasn't it like the backpack kid
Well, we know what
came
the
to be?
worst one was.
What?
Maroon 5 was the worst one.
Oh yeah, what year were they? Or how long ago were they? Wasn't
I
that
don't
like 10
remember,
years ago?
but I think it was Rams Bengals.
No, because that was like Ice Cube, Jay-Z, or remember who was it?
Mm,
Beyonce. It was a bunch of like I think it was like Ice Cube, somebody else. I don't think it was Maroon 5, but anyways, Usher this year. Name an Usher song right now. I couldn't. I mean, I know I probably heard stuff of his, but
oh, um,
I mean, I know I
uh,
have, but I couldn't name a song.
oh, a
Tip of the tongue
tip of the tongue phenomenon.
phenomenon. I know. Shout out, Mr. Moore.
Come through. Yeah,
Okay.
that's new. Yeah,
New. New Usher.
or like new-ish.
All
And
right. Congrats.
you got it bad. Okay, that's two. That's
All
it.
right. Good
That's all
job,
I
man.
got.
I'm proud of you. Anyways, shout out halftime performances. Pretty good. Obscure stat. I'll give you that. But yeah, let's get into this Super Bowl talk, and that's pretty much going to be the bulk.
Except you have to.
Hmm?
Oh wait, no. You read yours already.
Yeah, I did, man.
I'm tripping. I've been
Yeah.
tripping.
Yep. Super Bowl, Niners and Chiefs, rematch of Super Bowl 54 back in 2020. Chiefs obviously won that. I think it was 31-20, I believe. Mahomes is still there. Obviously, no Jimmy G. Kyle Shanahan trying to fix his reputation of choking in Super Bowls. He was the OC of the Falcons in the 28-3 game, and of course, coached the 10-point choke against the Chiefs in 2020. But before we get into the actual game, we can talk a little bit about the conference championships. Ravens, Chiefs, 17-10. Chiefs won. Interesting game. Absolute sell job by Lamar and the Ravens. Incredibly
I mean, the
disappointing.
Chiefs defense was locked down.
The Chiefs defense was locked down, but the Ravens had so many chances to do stuff. in that game. They got down in the red zone. Lamar threw the pick to clinch it. Zay Flowers fumble, that sort of stuff. So they were very much in the game. And honestly, they shouldn't have been, but they got down there and couldn't do anything with it. Chiefs defense forced some turnovers, and that was pretty much it. But
I thought the
and
Chiefs really did look good. The only problem is the classic second half offensive collapse.
yeah,
It's been
nothing.
a theme this year.
Yeah,
And
they did nothing in
but
the second half.
obviously we've put it together, I think, defensively. Mahomes is finally starting to look better. Um the receiving core is finally starting to look better.
Yeah, Scantling with the Valdez
And we
Scantling
made
with the
big
game
plays
clinching catch.
for everybody. I mean, I understand like sometimes it does seem scripted for the Chiefs. Like, in all honesty, like it isn't. And like I'm the first one to play into like, oh, like the script always got
You
like I
haven't been
get
doing
it.
until this year, which I think you learned from me. I think
But
that level of being a troll you learned from me. But
except you never did that. So
yeah, but I'd do
you
stuff like
can't
that.
claim that. You would never be like, oh yeah,
No,
like the
because
script is
like
in our favor.
it's a
Like,
way
no.
it's a way of dodging like trash talk is to just say stuff that's just dumb and which I've done to you
Well,
all the time.
actually, I'm gonna credit my dad because KU basketball, or like people always be like, oh, they win every year. He's like, oh yeah, no, we pay the refs. Like he's been doing that since I was a little kid.
Oh yeah.
Um, so I'll give him the credit. Um, Instead of
I'll
you
take it
trying to snipe
myself.
it away from me.
I'll take it myself.
But okay. Um, but no, I do think like in all honesty, like, we try to keep this podcast. It's fun, but we do try to be reputable and bring some good sports info. Like the game was not rigged. The Patriots
Ravens.
choked. Was there some questionable calls that went in the Chiefs' favor? Sure.
The only one
Were
I
the
could really
were the
name
Ravens?
was the holding unlikely, and even then,
Yeah.
like
I
they
mean,
just
like
gave the game
there were
away. It
some
wasn't, you know.
there were some calls that like weren't made for the Ravens where it's like if they were called, then Chiefs fans would be up in arms about them. Like there's really no win.
Hmm.
And like the Ravens offense was not playing in a manner conducive to like getting
Yeah,
calls. Like Lamar, you threw in the triple coverage, that ball's getting picked anyway.
had the check down wide open, wide
Yeah,
open.
like
Yeah. So,
sure. Did he get held? Yeah.
mm. But
Was that ball picked regardless? Also, yes.
yeah,
It's not a good
I
throw.
mean, the fact that like the Ravens, they should have won that game, and they played horribly offensively in the first half, and they were still very much in it. Just I mean,
I
Zay
mean, our
Flowers, dude,
we just we did
fumble.
really well containing Lamar, I think. I think he really
Yeah,
wasn't aggressive with his legs, but we did a good job containing him.
yeah.
Our secondary has been elite all year. Trent
I
McDuffie
mean,
is locked down.
oh yeah. But I mean, it's kind of funny in the years of Mahomes. In the past, it's always been the offense to pick it up and win the game late in the playoffs. And this year, it's been the defense. Mahomes did nothing to secure
Hmm.
the game in the second half, and the defense made plays. Which so kind of been a cool little
Hmm.
storyline there. I mean,
Hmm.
like the offense was horrible. They could not put the
And
game away when they
obviously,
had so
like
many
Mahomes
chances
is
to.
still like he's the guy. Like without Mahomes, you don't
Yes, of course,
get to this point.
but
But
definitely how the turntables turn, as they say,
mhm.
with the storyline of the Chiefs. But yeah, that's pretty much the AFC Championship. Ravens choke job. My goodness. Lamar narrative's not going great right now. I mean, I don't quite know
And
what to
it's crazy how quickly those narratives can change, right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
Lamar is like people are calling him like underrated, one of the better quarterbacks this generation. Like been
Hmm.
on a bad team up until now, but like two-time MVP, about to win a Super Bowl, like up there with like top guys of recent decade, and now he's like in the
Yeah.
gutter, cakewalk MVPs. Like,
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how the Ravens turn it around. Mike McDonald, they lost their defensive coordinator to Seattle. So we'll see how that goes. Their Lamar's on the books for a incredibly huge contract. So we'll see how they do in the draft and free agency and all that. But definitely tough when you're right there, number one seed. I mean, this twice in the past 4 years have been number one seed and have choked their season away. So kind of sucks, but hey,
yeah,
Chiefs
go
deserve the
Chiefs.
win. So they're the
Yeah.
Chiefs. But other side of the NFL, I mean, speaking of choke jobs, if we really want to talk about that, an even worse one at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. Not Ravens, Lions, Niners. Lions were up 17. It was what 24-7, I believe it was. Late in or like halfway through the third quarter, and they just absolutely sold the game. Nothing more to it.
Dan Campbell
Offense.
with a series of
Ah,
questionable decisions,
Dan Campbell going
and
for
like it really
it
is
twice.
frustrating.
It is. I don't. Here's the thing with me. Like I don't hate him going for it because that's how they got to this point all year was going for those
That's what I'm saying.
and
You
it's
can't
hindsight bias as
you got to
well.
stick to your guns. But at the
Exactly, yeah.
same time, like the one where they could have kicked, that was
Yeah.
a really bad.
Yeah, it was like
That was
fourth
like
and like
objectively, like I think that would have
mid.
been bad regardless.
Yeah. But obviously it's easy to look back like, oh, they should have gone for it because they didn't get it. But yeah, I think the one where they should have kicked to make it, I think it was a two possession game. Obviously they should have, but the real problem with me was
And then
him.
obviously like the fumble.
Yeah, of course. Who fumbled that? Was it Montgomery?
I want to say it was
Uh
Gibbs.
I think it might have been Gibbs, but the worst.
Which, by the way, I've been seeing people call Gibbs like a top five running back already. He had a great rookie season. He's
Mm,
close. Mm-mm. The volume just hasn't been there yet for me to say that. Like
he's
that's a
1,200
crazy
yards.
claim.
He's 1,200 yards as a as a splitting time as a running back. So
Second option,
yeah. So, but
but no,
anyway,
he's
well, we can
obviously
get into that
electric.
offseason
But
talk. But shout out David Montgomery though. I knew like he's a dog. Real for
okay,
real.
so what
He's a
didn't you
dog.
like? You were about to say
Yeah, the worst part I thought about the game for Dan Campbell was at the very end when they had fourth and goal and they decided to call a timeout and lose all their chances of getting a stop after potentially scoring. They had three timeouts, the clock is running, and they decided to call a timeout instead of a play, instead of hurrying up and trying to score, keeping all their timeouts and potentially stopping the Niners. I thought that was like an incredibly horrible call. They basically gave all their put all their eggs into the basket of recovering the onside kick, and you're not going to do that because this never happens. And that kind of really annoyed me because I was rooting for the Lions heavy,
and they almost
but
did get it.
and they almost did get it, but I mean, how many onside kicks have been recovered this year? Like three out of whatever, but that was probably the worst call for me. But the Lions, Ben Johnson is coming back. All their guys are coming back. They'll build in the draft and they'll be probably better. Well, I mean, potentially better than they even were last year. So we'll see. Hopefully Jared Goff is good again. They got a lot to bank in that, but um, yeah.
Yeah,
On the flip side, though,
I
the
mean it's hard
Niners,
though. Like talent wise, they're not bad, but they didn't feel like one of the best talent teams in the league.
yeah,
It
they
just
were
like
up
felt like
17 with a
felt
chance
like
to go
their
to the
it
Super
just
Bowl,
felt like
though.
their year, and they sold. And like
Yeah.
you can call it, it is Dan Campbell's fault. It is
Yeah, I mean,
mistakes by the players. Like obviously, players should have converted on those fourth downs. You could say
hmm
bad plays in big moments, but you can't criticize the team for doing exactly what got them there. I think they just pushed it a little far. They took
yeah,
their ideology of what their identity was and took it a little far to unnecessary. Like you're up 17, just play the game management. Like
yeah. Um, yeah, I can't even, I mean, we both have or will never experience that sort of pain of rooting for a horrible NFL franchise. And I can't imagine, even at 17 years old, but like as you're like 60, 70 years old, the Lions haven't won a playoff game in 30 years. They have never made a Super Bowl, and that is what they do with a Super Bowl on the line. I would be like, oh my gosh.
shit.
I felt bad for everyone, all the
Shout
Lions
out
fans out there.
MMG, dude. Oh my lord.
Yeah, I actually like
And
that
like
might have been
Niners
the
fans do not need another Super Bowl.
yeah. But yeah, that might have been the most sad. That's up there with the most sad have been for an NFL team to lose. That's not the Pats.
And
But
they've never been to a Super Bowl.
never been, and they had it in their hands, and they just absolutely sold the game away. But, yeah. But
Aren't they the
that,
only franchise to never have been?
oh no, it's
Or
like
like the only
them.
franchise that's been around for like a or like the only original
Yeah,
franchise that like there was around at the first Super Bowl who's never been or something like that.
yeah, I believe so. I mean, I know like teams like the Jags and stuff haven't, but they haven't really been. The Browns have never been.
But
They
they're
may,
new.
well, they're old, but they won a bunch of
I think the
championships, I think.
statistic is that of the teams that like were around at the start of the Super Bowl era.
Yeah, I mean the Lions have been the least losingest franchise in the history of the NFL, but that a team did win the game though. The Niners won the game. They came back. Brock Purdy actually played honestly a pretty excellent game. I mean, he kind of willed them back to victory. Kittle made plays. Debo made plays. Ayuk made the play, the insane bobble catch down towards the goal line. But yeah, I mean, their offense was clicking in the second half, and that's all it took. So that's all I got for that.
Yeah. That catch was pretty crazy.
That was pretty
For
insane.
people
Yeah.
calling it like the best catch playoff hit, like it's not like
Edelman's better.
it really. Well, I mean that comes to mind, but like
Yeah.
curse's catch
Curse.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, the helmet catch.
I think it's like a lot of like that's kind of an over like it was a good catch. It was really crazy, but like it wasn't.
Yeah. It did like kind of
People would be
plop
mad
down
if he
into his,
if he
you
had
know.
bobbled it and then not caught it. People would be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, how do you
Oh my,
sell
yeah,
that bad?" So it's
exactly.
like
Yeah.
not. It's kind of luck.
Yeah. If you had to name a catch, what would you say would be the like craziest catch counting the scenario in NFL history? I'm saying Edelman, the shoot catch. That
Okay,
was just unreal. Like seriously, dude.
that's the best catch. I'd say the craziest catch is like immaculate reception, David Tyree.
Well, yeah.
Is
Yeah.
that fair?
I mean, yeah, immaculate deception is probably the
Dude,
most
I remember
iconic
being
catch
so
in NFL
angry when
history.
Edelman caught that.
Oh
No,
God.
Odell's is more iconic now.
I mean, iconic, yeah, but it wasn't a regular season game, so we're counting, the
It doesn't matter.
weight of the game.
That's the best catch of all time. Not even
Yeah,
close.
yeah. But yeah, Ayuk made the play, and Purdy played a pretty incredible game, and we'll see
Just
how he
on
does
like
in
a
the
little
Super Bowl.
tangent, there's somebody who has a top 10 catch of all time that like is a complete nobody. Well, David Tyree actually is kind of a nobody,
Yeah,
but
he was a one-hit wonder.
Keelan Cole for the
Keelan
Jags. Do you
Cole.
remember that catch? Oh
Wait,
my
which one? Because
God.
he's had like a couple that have been insane.
The one hander. The one hander I
Yeah,
watched against the Browns.
he had one against the Pats 2 years ago that was insane. Oh my goodness! In the Jacoby Myers
But
throwback
no,
game.
I'm talking about like the back
Yeah, yeah.
shoulder one where you
Yeah, I
like
know what you're talking about. Yeah. It was kind of an ongoing joke. I don't know if you heard about this, but he would have like an insane catch every single year, for like 5 straight years. And that was the Raiders Pats one was one, and that was another one. But shout out Keelan Cole. So, all right, are you gonna be done with this Slurpee? Like this is just kind of getting unreal.
Mhm. It's the
Like
last
it's
piece of
kind of
ice. I
annoying
have to
me.
get it.
Just get it, dude. It's my gosh, you look like a slob.
It's right there.
My gosh, just one piece of ice, dude. I'm not even gonna edit this. Everyone tune into the YouTube video and watch this guy gobble down his Slurpee instead of doing a pod. You
I'm still
done?
locked in.
You
Yes, I'm
done?
done.
All right.
God.
Jesus.
Yes.
Anyways,
Anyway, moving on to the game. Like, I want to say, obviously, the Niners defense is like stacked, but the Chiefs defense has performed really better than anybody.
hmm yeah, that'd be pretty incredible.
So, like, it's tough. Also, I'm just gonna shout out Aaron Thomas. We wished him a happy birthday on the Instagram today. He's 23 today.
Yep.
Show him some love.
A
You know
two-time
how it
guest,
is.
three-time guest, right?
Three-time
Yeah,
guest.
three-time guest. Sapboy Aaron, shout him out. One of the bigger Takes from Leaks fans, so a little mid-episode shout out for Sapboy. But
Hmm.
anyways, Super Bowl.
Yeah, obviously, like you go through the depth chart, it looks, very Niners heavy, Chase Young, Bosa, all these guys on the D line. Then you've
hmm
got Fred Warner,
Chase Young's been
Charvarius
horrible, by the
Ward.
way. He's like actually like not good.
Yeah, but like he,
Yeah, I'm just saying.
he's still a force.
hmm
Um, who else? I'm blanking about somebody on the D line. They've got Dre Greenlaw still, right?
Eric
No, they don't.
Armstead. They do Dragon though. Yeah, Eric
Yeah.
Armstead.
Um, the Troy Polamalu, but not. Uh,
Yeah. Wait, now I'm
uh.
blanking on the name.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Oh.
Uh.
Uh.
Hold.
Mm,
Why are we doing this right now?
ooh.
Come on. Also,
Um.
Javon Hargrave too. I'm on that D line. Uh.
Yeah. Wait. Hold on.
Why are we blanking on this name? Both of us.
Oh,
Oh, Hufanga.
Hufanga. Talanoa Hufanga.
Yeah. I didn't even look. It came to mind
Yep.
like as I was about to search it up. Yeah, Hufanga. But
Yeah.
yeah, he's a dog. Their cornerback play
So yeah,
definitely, I mean, could
they're
be
stacked.
better, but they don't have quite the guys, but they just kind of just hit the ball out there, and that's what they've been doing for years. So
Charvarius Ward was insane this year, though.
yeah, Ambry Thomas has been kind of solid.
And they've got some playmakers, yeah.
But I mean, Fred Warner
Um,
locking it down
but
too.
yeah, so like it seems like they have a clear advantage, and I'd say that I'll give them the advantage, especially D line, even though the Chiefs D line has been phenomenal.
Hmm.
I'll give them the advantage, but the Chiefs have been super under the radar on defense. Tons of guys who really like. There's the whole Chris Jones drama at the start of the year. He's been phenomenal. Eric Nadi on IR, unfortunately, but Tershawn Wharton's been great against the run.
Hmm.
Um, Felix, nothing from Felix on Udike Uzoma, but
Karloff is still balling, right?
yeah, unfortunately, Charles Omenahu also out
Mm,
on IR.
yeah,
That
I
is a
saw
pretty
that.
big loss, but Mike Dana, George
Yeah,
Karlaftis have all been huge. Um, And then linebackers, Willie Gay and Nick Bolton are a dynamic duo, speedy, all around the field. Neither one of them will have to be in the spy this week either because Brock Purdy doesn't really run like that.
though he can.
Drew
He actually
Tranquil
ran
has
quite a
been
bit against the Lions.
a not a
Dude
breakout
shrank.
star, but
He's
he's
been
been
like so
phenomenal.
good,
He's been a
so
key
good.
pickup.
He made so many
Leo
plays in that game.
Chenal is an athletic freak. And
Hmm.
then secondary is where we shine. Um, L'Jarius Sneed and Trent McDuffie both just completely locked down. L'Jarius Sneed usually shadows the best player. Trent McDuffie plays on the boundary. Um, I believe McDuffie was first team All Pro.
Yeah, he was.
L'Jarius Sneed could have been Pro Bowl snubs.
Yeah,
Um, Justin Reed has been phenomenal at strong safety. Edwards has been good at free safety. Chamari Connor made a big play in that championship game. And then the sort of unsung hero, Joshua Williams and Jalen Watson
mm.
at corner as well, like have also been locked down. So it's not as many big names. Obviously you've got Jones, Bolton, Snead, and McDuffie. But other than that, like not a whole lot of guys that are household names, but it's a really, really solid bunch. But yeah, so that's the matchup to watch as opposed
Yeah,
to, the quarterbacks this go
yeah.
around.
I mean, another matchup to watch would be, I mean, Warner, Kelsey too.
Mm,
Throughout the game, Kelsey
yeah.
obviously had like 10 receptions or for 100 whatever yards in the first half and was kind of shut down the second half, but still has been pretty
I
incredible
mean,
over the playoffs.
you really can't cover Travis Kelsey. It's really all about what's getting drawn up and whether it's being drawn up for him, and then, whether or not he's going to catch the ball.
Hmm.
But he's really
Yeah,
hard. He's really almost impossible to lock down, so to
yeah.
speak. I haven't loved Andy Reid's play calling. I'm not gonna lie. I've
Mm.
been pretty openly critical of it. Obviously, one of the greatest coaches of all time, but his red zone play calling leaves some things to be desired.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm not gonna blame that on Kelsey. I think Kelsey is a threat. The fact that he, like in a sense, can take Fred Warner out of the game
Hmm.
is very, very big. Also, I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure Hufanga's on the IR, so he'll be fine as far
Oh
as I know.
yeah. No, he has been hurt. That's right, I forgot about
Um,
that. But
yeah.
still shadowing.
Um, yeah, so I think that opens up room for, obviously Pacheco, Edwards-Helaire's been decent. Rashee Rice, obviously the rookie sensation. Um, Marquez Valdez-Scantling has been finally showing up in the
Sure.
playoffs.
Made the game clinching
Um,
catch against the Ravens.
I mean, we have so many guys and yet so few that are any good. Like Justin Watson is consistent, if anything. Like I feel like he makes big catches in dire situations. But I mean, Tony, rough year. Sky
Hmm.
Moore, rough year. Hardman, rough year. Justin Ross, really nothing. But great offensive line as well. Like Jawan
Tooney's out
Taylor,
though.
is he out?
Yeah, he's out.
He's listed as questionable.
Yeah, I
From
saw
what I
some
have.
tweets. He's like not expected to play,
Joe
so that
Tooney.
will not help. But yeah, let me double check that.
Mm,
I saw somewhere, yeah, Joe Tooney
yeah,
out
Joe
2 hours
Tooney
ago.
out.
Yeah. Hmm. So,
Yeah, but the O line has been good. Obviously, penalty issues, but they have been good. Mahomes hadn't been sacked. I think he got sacked twice last week,
mhm.
and he hadn't been sacked in
Yeah,
like
no, the O line's been
4 or
incredible.
5 weeks. And part of that's obviously Mahomes, but
Yeah.
and so obviously the other thing about the Niners is they have, potentially the best weaponry in all of the NFL. Trent Williams anchoring the O line, but the O line really is nothing without Trent Williams.
Yeah. I mean,
So that's
yeah,
something to
and
look out for.
an O-line doesn't need to be necessarily that good too when you have Christian McCaffrey behind them running who can find any hole anywhere. But yeah, I mean Purdy has been I was gonna say pretty good during the whole playoffs, but he wasn't really that great in the Packers game, but was really good last week in the second half. He has shown that he can perform in the playoffs, especially on important drives. So we'll see how that ends up turning out. Good things tend to happen when you put the ball in the hands of good players, as we've found out, which is kind of shocking. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if Kyle Shanahan can um, erase the demons of the
Yeah.
Super Bowl choking. But
Yeah, I mean, I think so. So who do you have winning the game?
I
And
have
then we can talk
Niners.
about why you have the Niners.
Yeah,
So like we've been knowing that.
yeah.
Do you think it's going to be close?
Oh yeah. I think there's no way it's gonna be a blowout. I could see that.
Because here's the thing, I just don't see Mahomes losing a close game in the Super Bowl. I just
Mm,
I just don't. And here's my thing it comes down to, right? I'm
uh,
not and like I was thinking about this too, knowing that we were gonna do this pod. If I was gonna come out and just play the whole like we have Patrick Mahomes. Because you can. Honestly, like there's an argument to be made that you really don't need anything else but Patrick Mahomes on your football team, and that makes you arguably the favorite to win any game. Is that
mhm,
fair?
yeah.
Like having him gives us so much, but I think there's more to it than that because obviously we lost 6 games in the regular season. It hasn't been our best season. We're not invincible. We got smoked by Brady in the Super Bowl. So there's there's room for there's room for the Niners to get a win. I think the key to the game is controlling flow, right?
Hmm.
If if the 49ers come out hot,
Yeah.
fast, play fast, come out hot, force the Chiefs to come from behind in a second half when we know that they've been terrible in the second half all year,
Hmm. Yeah, that could be rough.
then I think, like even, game winning drives, second half, if the Chiefs are down 7, there's a very good chance that, Mahomes magic does not prevail just with the
Yeah.
way that things have been looking in second halves this year for the team. But I think if the Chiefs control the pace like they have, Bills, Ravens, Dolphins, if the Chiefs control the pace, keep it slow, dictate, they're the best team in the league scoring in the last 2 minutes of the first half.
Hmm.
They're really elite in first halves. They're really elite at dominating the pace of the game. And so if the 49ers are playing at the Chiefs' pace and the Chiefs, sort of have them at arm's distance, I don't see Purdy then especially if Mahomes isn't playing from behind. I don't see Purdy outdueling
Yeah,
Patrick
I
in a
mean,
in it because when it does what it does boil down to, because when you look at the teams, they're actually surprisingly even. What it boils down to is Patrick Mahomes is better than Brock Purdy.
yeah, I think, I mean, the Niners offense when it's like in a flow is kind of like I think impossible to stop. That being
Yeah.
said, they haven't played necessarily a great defense. Packers defense wasn't really that great. Lions defense we know
I mean,
hasn't
there's an
been.
argument to be made that there really isn't a great defense in the NFC besides them.
Yeah, pretty fair, but um, yeah, and Lions defense obviously very shaky, but make
And
plays,
obviously
but
the
still.
Ravens defense shut them down.
hmm But I mean, he's shown Brock Purdy has shown that he can have big drives. He had the huge drive in the Packers game
Hmm.
that won in that game, and had many huge drives stacked on top of one another in the Lions game. Of course, both games he had home field advantage. Super Bowl is a completely different stage. Mahomes has been there 3 times already. This is his fourth. So I mean, it's just a huge wild card for the last pick in the draft, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think you had all
Here's
valid
my
valid
yeah.
points there. But I would trust if I had to
Like
not put trust in him or put trust in him, I would trust him to perform. So
yeah. The 49ers have to play a different style of game than they have in their first two playoff games.
hmm
Regardless, Brock Purdy will not win a Super Bowl MVP. Right?
yeah, it's
Brock
interesting.
Purdy is not going to be, and that's not like trying to predict, like, I don't really care about predicting the awards, right? But that's
Yeah,
to say that Purdy will not be the hero
I don't know.
of story.
He
It's
was a
it's
hero of
not
the Lions
gonna
game. He was
exactly,
making
exactly.
plays. Yeah.
But this is the difference between the Chiefs and the Lions, right? That's the Patrick Mahomes, whatever. Regardless of whether he's been good or not this year, he's the best, most talented player of all time.
Mhm.
You know, we can argue about that later, but he's, in my eyes, the most talented player of all time. And you're not going to outduel him in an even last 5 minutes of a Super Bowl game. You're just not,
Yeah, I
especially
mean,
not if
you
you're
can
Brock
duel him
Purdy.
in the last 5 minutes of a championship, though. But
Did he need to
anyways,
be outdueled? Oh, Burrow.
bro, yeah. I mean, he kind of
Mm,
sold that, but um,
well, Kelsey.
that was that was Mahomes' fault. Anyways, who cares?
Anyway, um, you're just not going to, especially not if you're Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy and Joe Burrow, again, like not the same.
hmm
Um,
But
so I think the Niners need to be a different football. If the Niners are the same football team that played against the Packers and the Lions, they won't win. They
mm,
they will not
I
win
mean, I
because
think you're
because
just
The Chiefs will build a bigger lead than the Packers or Lions did.
have the
And
Chiefs even gotten out to a big lead like at all this year in recent against like a good team in recent like
I mean, I think
games?
what you call against the Ravens, I think you call that a commanding lead.
I mean, it was what
Um,
like 10 points, 17-7, is that what it was?
it was
Yes.
yes, but it was
But that
command
wasn't because of
started
their offense.
starting with the ball second half. I think that's commanding.
I mean,
Um,
it's not like they
I
like
mean,
controlled that game because of their
game,
offense. They controlled it because of their defense. So
Dolphins game that
Dolphins just suck. Like their
yeah.
offense sucks. I'm not even gonna speak
Um,
about that.
I mean, down at half to the Bills.
Yeah. So
Mm, but
I don't think a team. I think if a team would get out, it'd be the Niners. I could see the Chiefs starting off
yeah,
slow.
no, I could see, no, that's what I'm saying. I could see
Yeah.
the Niners putting up like a 21-3 first quarter.
Yeah. Me too.
I think the Niners need something like that to win. But I think if it's these like long 7-8 minute drives,
hmm
it's going to end up with the 49ers stalling out something or other. Chiefs defense been super good their own side of the field.
Yeah.
Um, and then, if Mahomes is getting these long methodical drives, especially in the first half this year, he's tended to finish.
Yeah. Mm.
tended to finish.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. But I mean, like in the
So
Bucks Super
that's what I
Bowl.
mean, dictating the pace. I think if it comes out fast, I think the Niners play at an advantage, make Mahomes try to make big plays with weapons that he doesn't have.
Mhm.
Then you start to get into that territory where he's forcing things. Then you start to look at like it starts to look like a Chiefs Bucks Super Bowl,
When they like,
right?
you think they're gonna come back and just cannot do literally anything at all. So
Exactly.
yeah,
And
that would suck
and
if we got. Wow.
and the Niners, I think, have the pass rush to make that. And it doesn't have to be like the same score line, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's that type of a game where you're forcing Mahomes to make plays that he doesn't really have. It's not his fault, but he just doesn't have the weapons to make those plays
Mm-hmm.
possible. And I think the Niners have the pass rush to accomplish that, the secondary to accomplish that.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that's how it has to look.
Yeah.
Mahomes has to feel pressure to make plays early on in the game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think we kind of have the same idea. I think the only thing we're kind of, I think you doubt Brock Purdy a bit too much, or just more than me. Like I do have trust in him. I think it's about time you put trust in him, as a quarterback to win the game. I mean, people want to call him a game manager. I don't think getting called a game manager is a bad thing because it literally means you win
Yeah.
games. Like, okay, call Tom Brady game manager. He is the winningest quarterback to ever play the game.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? But I put trust in him with the ball in his hands to have a good drive and score, and that's what he's done the past 2 games. So, but we'll see. The Super Bowl is completely different. Crazy things happen, and it's not a championship game. It is like it is a show. That's really what it is. It's completely different in Vegas. It's just completely different atmosphere than a other
It
regular
just
playoff game. But,
like it just feels like Mahomes is this invincible start becoming like a Brady, just like this
mhm.
invincible force in these
Yeah.
tight games. You see like when Brady lost to the Eagles. I mean, aside from the Giants, I guess, but like when Brady lost to
Hmm.
the Eagles, they came out strong. So I just think the first half is
Yeah.
where where the Niners money will be made. Let's hear score prediction, award prediction.
All right. Score prediction. I do have the Niners winning for exact score. I will say little 28. Give me 28-27. Give me a 1 point Super Bowl.
Okay.
Niners win. And then MVP, they're going to give it to Brock Purdy if the Niners win the game. That's just what's going to happen. He's going to have a game winning drive.
Okay.
He's going to win the game for them. And he will get Super Bowl MVP.
All right. I've
But
got
yeah,
Chiefs 35-30.
that'd be
Um,
pretty. Little high back to back high scoring games for Super Bowls. But and
mhm.
then obviously Mahomes MVP.
And then no, I think
Really?
hot
Oh,
take.
who are you gonna say? You say Kelsey?
It's either gonna be Isaiah Pacheco with like 3 red zone touchdowns, or like 2 red zone touchdowns and like a long touchdown, or it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be Chris Jones with like, because look at this, and he lines up everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But let's presume that he's gonna line up everywhere that Trent Williams isn't.
Uh-huh.
That pass rush has been deadly. You really like, especially with Spagnuolo blitzes, you're really gonna struggle to find the facilities to double team him. Obviously, they have Kyle Juszczyk and George Kittle, both great blockers. But you
Yeah.
look at the inside interior of this offensive line: Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, John Feliciano, Colton McKivitz at right tackle.
Yeah.
It's not it's not what you want it to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think
I can't imagine them not giving it to Mahomes if they win the game. Like
mm,
that's like it's to the
I
point
mean,
where,
my thought, and obviously like Mahomes, I think is still the X factor down the stretch. Like he's Patrick Mahomes, but I think for the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl, I think we're gonna need like a really amazing performance from somebody else. Some a performance
mm-hmm.
that dictates getting Super Bowl MVP. And you can argue that Damian Williams had that the first time he beat the
Yeah,
Niners in the
I
Super
I'm
Bowl,
fine with
but
Mahomes. Like Mahomes should have gotten that.
yeah,
He
Um,
brought them back
I
from 10
think
point
I think in order
deficit.
like if the Chiefs win, I think we're gonna see a performance that dictates that
Mm-hmm.
level of.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully, should be a good one. Just praying to God
Yep.
this it's not a blowout. Don't give us Bucks
Hmm.
Chiefs. Although if the Niners do blow them out, I think that'd be kind of funny because if back to back, or I guess not back to back, but two blowouts in the Super Bowl would not help Mahomes' narrative against Brady. So I would be all for that.
Doesn't make
Brady
him a
never.
fraud.
I mean, yeah, but Brady never got blown out in the Super Bowl. So yeah. But yeah, I got nothing else on that game. So I think it's
Yeah.
be all good if we
Let's
move
move on
on.
to our random topic. I think we're going gas station snacks.
Beautiful.
Is that good? Is that good
Yeah,
or
I got
what?
I, I got a good take on this. So,
Okay. Let's go ahead and hear your take because
all right, gas station snacks. Drink Fairlife milk. All right.
oh,
Fairlife milk, whether it's strawberry, chocolate, preferably strawberry. Strawberry is the best flavor. Chocolate, shout out Cannon, always hooks me up with the chocolate. Fairlife's at his house.
what
Um,
about vanilla?
vanilla. Yeah, I was gonna say that. I'd go probably strawberry, vanilla, then chocolate. But I always get that at a gas station when I go. I don't really like having soda. It kind of it makes my head hurt. Has a lot of sugar. Not saying that Fairlife doesn't have a lot of sugar, but not a huge fan of getting soda at gas station. I've kind of switched to Fairlife probably last year or 2 years ago or so. And then as far as food, Gushers, number one. If it doesn't have Gushers, I'll be pretty mad. My backup plan is a little maybe a little Nutter Butter Bites or something like that. Maybe Golden Oreo Minis, if
Wow,
you
this is
will.
not what golden Oreo. Wow, this is not what I expected to hear at all. This is not
Um,
these aren't bad takes.
mhm.
It's just not my takes, which is good.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad we got some variation. But as far as chips, I'm not a huge. Maybe I'll get some Cheeto Puffs, but not a huge chip guy at a gas station.
Wow,
More of a
what?
candy guy. And then yeah, I mean just sort of like Nutter
I know you're
Butter,
a big fan of the
Gushers,
Wawa wraps.
Wawa wraps. Yeah, if we're counting Wawa, I'll get a Wawa wrap. I'll get an apple and caramel dip. Love that. Go to is a Fairlife strawberry
Oh, I love apple and
caramel,
caramel.
apple caramel dip and a wrap. Perfect. Love it. Shout out Wawa. So that's my take. Good topic segment or
Okay,
subject.
so you're definitely not an energy drink guy.
No, I've never gotten behind age. I've always stayed away from that.
I'm really not behind it. I'm really not behind it, but there are certain situations where they like are good,
Hmm.
and like sometimes they do be hitting.
Yeah,
The go-to is obviously the Skittles C4. But like
yeah.
I just getting
Are you
that out of the way,
Celsius
that's
guy
like a
too?
once like a yeet.
You like
No,
Celsius?
Celsius tastes like pea water. No, they're
Never tried.
terrible. When
So
like there's
C4's
just like
your thing?
I know some people who are like huge. It's not really my. It's I was about to, like it's literally like a once like twice a year thing in
Uh-huh.
like certain situations where
Yeah,
I'm like out and like gonna be super tired.
yeah.
But dude, Celsius's taste like bath water, dude. It's
Shout out
terrible.
Anakin Kuzniewski.
Don't
Always has
don't
a
ask how I know what that
Celsius.
tastes like.
Anakin
Bro, there's
Kuzniewski
some
always has
people
a
that always
Celsius every single day. I don't know how she does it, dude. It's unreal. Anna, you need to find
in the
something else to
people who
drink.
drink energy drinks in the morning,
Yeah, I
you're
know.
I will if they had goat fuel at gas stations. Shout out
I don't
the
know.
you remember
Yeah.
that?
Oh, Go Fit. Oh, is that what it was called? Yeah, we got a little
Why did we do
sponsorship
that?
for.
Goat
I don't
fuel,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, like in the morning and
Anyway,
you're
but
like
yeah, I don't
going
know
to
why people drink
school,
energy drinks in the morning.
and then it's not
I
like
mean, like
you're
I get it because like I'm tired in the morning too, but like just you don't need it, bro. Like just
just
fall asleep in
eat
class if you're that
food,
tired.
eat a breakfast. You know?
It's so bad for you. Yeah,
Yeah.
breakfast. I love breakfast.
Oh, I know.
I love it.
I know. Anyways,
Are you trying to call me fat?
yes. Anyways,
Anyway, Celsius, like, I really can't get behind it. I know so many people who like have them every day. They don't taste good. Like,
okay.
if I'm gonna have an energy drink, I know it's bad for me.
Hmm.
I want something that tastes
You
like
said you only get C4 like a couple
amazing.
times a year though. So
Um,
like what is your
yeah.
go to then for drink
Oh,
and
okay.
food?
Okay, so go to. Um, I mean, to start off strong, here's my thing with Fairlife, the quantity. Like, I just never feel like it
Yeah,
slides
it
down the
is.
throat so
It's
easy.
so thick and
Pause.
rich.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
great, but I just never I feel like I put it away in three sips.
yeah, that's
I feel like I can
very
just
fair
gulp it
point.
down and for what? What are we talking? $3.99 for a Fairlife?
It is super expensive. That's why I don't try to get it
I
too
can't
much.
justify it.
Especially the
I
core
can't
power, which is like
justify
more
it.
protein. It's like $5. I'm like,
I
what?
can't justify it
But the
because it's
regular
3 sips.
non-protein is like maybe like 250, so it's not horrible. But
Um. Anyway,
yeah,
the go-to, I think candy gotta go Nerds gummy
I
clusters.
hate those. I got them
Fire.
once. I hate them.
Really, really?
Yes. I
No,
just
they're really.
yeah.
See, they grew on me. They grew on me. It's not an immediate thing.
Uh,
Hot take, go like a 100 grand. Love me 100 grand.
I
Or
like that
like
take.
a or like if they have a Cadbury caramello or like a Cadbury like
I don't even
what's
know
it
what that
called?
is.
Dairy
Cadbury?
milk. Cadbury. It's um
Interesting.
shout out Walker Phillips, my dad. He put me on. Look up Cadbury. Like you ever had a Cadbury cream egg? Pause.
Definitely not.
Dude. Just look up
Oh
like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like that stuff is good.
I mean, it looks like it.
Fire.
Mm.
Or I mean like a Twix is obviously a go-to.
Milky Way, love it.
That's my sister.
Mm.
Oh, speaking
Shout out
of,
Scarlett.
I went to 7-Eleven today with Christian Carrasco. We got
Hmm.
these dollar Slurpees.
Really?
Um, but my sister had been like talking about how bad she wants a Twix ice cream bar. So I
Yeah.
got her a Twix ice cream bar.
Tough
Fire.
brother.
Fire. I'm not gonna lie. Fire.
Hmm.
Um, like low key like little ice cream section, Twix ice cream bar.
You would say
Might have to
that.
add it to the rotation. No, okay,
Nightmare rotation.
drink wise, it's really like I try to vary it like occasionally like a Gatorade.
I mean, you love your
There was like
Fanta too, don't you?
yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah.
There was like a time when I was like trying to like try all the prime flavors. It's really not good, bro. Like it's not good.
Body
But yeah,
armor, I've
you
dabbled in.
yeah, I like a Gatorade if they have purple. Um, purple's my favorite. But I love my Fantas. There's always something new.
Hmm.
Grape, pineapple, orange,
Fanta Limon.
times a strawberry. Fanta Limon is only Europe, I think.
Yeah.
But
Well, of course, but still, shout it out.
yeah, shout it out. So I call it my local 7-Eleven, the one by Ocean Lakes,
Bro,
where my
bro acts
dog
like it's a
at the cash register puts in
local.
his reward so he gets the points and I get the rewards. It's so funny. That's my dog. But
Yeah.
they've been selling Doritos. Ooh. Oh. Oh.
Doritos.
The Mexican Jerry Toast.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
I
Mm.
had to say, God, you're so
I
uncultured.
don't. Okay, well, yeah, I've literally lived in Chula Vista, which is a mile away from Mexico, bro. Don't even
So
talk to
you're
me like that.
Mexican?
Yes, finally figured it out. Anyways, yeah, shout out Jaditos. But yeah,
So okay, God, I have to narrow it down because you narrowed it down so good to like
yeah,
a
because I
go-to.
get I have a
Well,
go-to that
and
I
you do get free pizza at 7-Eleven or my local 7-Eleven with the purchase of gas, which like the pizza's
really
not good, but like
that's
it's
actually a
free.
deal.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, the
you get a
pizza's
free slice of pizza.
really like it's tough to get down
It's really
sometimes.
terrible, but like,
Yeah.
oh, 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 I forgot the biggest player.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so not every 7-Eleven has them either,
Taquitos.
but next to the donut like case where they actually like have donuts, they have 7-Eleven brand donut holes. And the chocolate ones are gas.
You would say that.
So the play, we'll call it a grape Fanta,
Mm-hmm.
some chocolate donut holes. Really not
Blank
like
stare.
I'm really not a chip guy like I used to be.
Yeah. Yeah, me neither.
Like I like Takis or Flamin' Hot Cheetos, but like they always make me feel terrible. Like by the time I get to the end of the
Yeah.
bag, I'm like,
That's
they're not even that
oh
hot. I just like it's just too much.
yeah.
Um, so like if I'm feeling really like I just want to just ruin my body,
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Which
go
happens a
Nerds
lot.
Gummy Clusters as well. But you it rarely.
That has to be
well
like one of the
combined.
worst candies you can get, like health wise. Nerd gummy clusters.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Or like
just
or
cancer
like
in a bag.
terrible day. Terrible day. Go like C4,
Oh
Fanta,
no.
Nerds gummy clusters, and
Oh
like
goodness.
and like a Twix, dude. Like you're just asking for it. But
You
like
will.
I
You
think
just
I've
took 10
done
years
that
off your life.
before.
Oh, I'll
I've
believe
done
you.
that
Oh,
before.
I'll believe you. Yeah. But hey, W random topic segment. I'll give you credit for that.
I mean, I
Way to
always
be-
come through, don't I?
You do, per usual. But yeah, I got nothing else for this episode unless you got something, Nash.
No, it's pretty splendid.
Yeah, pretty splendid episode. Good to get back in the biz, as they say. I think this was about a little bit under an hour, maybe a little bit longer than we anticipated. But hey, it was good to talk ball, and everyone have fun watching the Super Bowl. Lock in. Hopefully, should be a good one. Eat some good food, watch the commercials, and we'll catch you guys next time. See ya.
See ya.